it is important to point out these undeniable facts. Biafrans must understand the sacrifice of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu for the past 5 years, or roughly more than 10 years, 10 years, he has been persecuted unjustly, just for the sake of Biafra. And should Biafra comes today, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will not pocket the Biafra and use it for his personal aggrandizement or interest. He is fighting for the collective interest of all asunder. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been abused, assaulted, misunderstood, misrepresented by even most of the people he was fighting to defend. Yet he finds a place to forgive them because they do not know what they are doing. They do not know that the sacrifice and the pains, the agonies he's been subjected was just because of them, just because of the posterity of the Biafrans unborn, just because of the liberty of the current Biafrans in existence. No wonder, despite his incarceration, has called on Biafrans that I want Biafra to be calm, to be absolutely calm and peaceful. I do not want the death of any Biafran. I am fighting to defend the Biafrans, the reason why I am here, and will continue to do so until Biafra comes. That is an exemplary mark of excellence, leadership excellence, that is undeniable. Now, regardless of whatever is your personal interest or pursuits of personal recognition, fame, or ego, this advice is for you. Precisely to the warring factions who believe they are the best, this message is for you. Most especially, I want to mention name Dr. Ngozi Rabezi, Ogen Kere, and the rest of the group, or anyone believing they are siding one particular faction or the other. You've got to learn from the leaders, sacrifice, and selfless engagement. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was not seeking for his personal interests. He was not seeking for fame. He was not seeking for recognition, but he was seeking for the emancipation of his people. He set aside whatever accusation, insult, humiliation he has been subjected to. So how much sacrifice have you paid in the cost of Biafran pursuits or actualization of Biafran state, to the point you could not condone one another, you could not tolerate one another, you could not pardon one another? You are so bent at even destroying the efforts, the contributions of the heroes past and present to protect your public fame, reputation, some using it for advertisements, for monetary inducements, for lobbying or seeking sympathy and favor from wherever angle they feel they could get that. While more damage is being done to the cause of Biafra. What does it take? Or what does it benefit you to gain the whole world and lose the collective interests of all Biafrans, which is the restoration of this lost sovereign state of Biafra, and to build an egalitarian society, a society where everyone will be proud to identify, where each one's aspirations and pursuit will be achievable, realistic, and objectively pursued without any interference or subjugation. It is very important we advise ourselves, as the Igbos do say. The advice you give to yourself is more valuable. But now I'm using this opportunity to advise the warring factions, the warring parties. It is time to sheath the sword and form a common front to fight the common enemies. It's no longer meant to be perceived as enemies to one another. This message must sink directly into your subconsciousness. Enough of this. 7 months down the line, after Simon Ekpa was summoned, the Prime Minister of the Biafran Republic government in exile, those who claim they are the next to take over, or their rival splinter groups, have not demonstrated any leadership quality, unfortunately have not been able to manage their internal crisis or disputes within them, which have degenerated to what anyone could see today, building wars against each other, fighting, disparaging, calling one another terrorists and the rest of them. What this and many others negative activities that have been displayed over these 7 months have not added any positive energy towards the realization of the said objective. Definitely, will Mazi Simon Ekpa be proud of what is going on? No. Whether you believe it or not, he will definitely be out just a matter of time, any moment from now, because even the case could no longer be substantiated. The prosecution council have raised doubts of the possibility of proving the innocency of the guilty of Mazi Simon Ekpa. What does that mean? They are even afraid or have raised doubts of whether they could win the case. So what I'm saying is that I learned there is a peace movement or summit, whether it has been taking place or observed. What I want to say is this, my own take: the committee or anyone convening for this peace summit must come with all sincerity and honesty. The both warring parties must be contacted with the interest of building and forging a common front established based on unity, equity, and fairness. You don't fight to stand. No kingdom fights against itself and still stands. It is high time you forge a common front and begin to fight your enemies, rather than watching your enemies laughing at you for fighting against yourselves, emboldening the enemies and their strategies. It is high time everyone sheath the sword. Both those warring in social media. Of course, after this, I will not going to discuss anything based on these individuals involved. Take my words. Unless they come together and understand what exactly they are pursuing, if actually they are committed to the cause of Biafra realization, unless otherwise they are telling us they are not part of this struggle, or perhaps they have ulterior motive or working for the perceived enemies. This is a word. The word is enough for the wise. Let the warring factions come together and fight the common enemies. If it is possible, forgive and let go. Let personal interests be set aside and let the collective interest, which is the actualization of the Biafran sovereign state, possibly be at the front burner. And the warring parties should speak to their subjects or those loyal to them to also align with this peace summit or reconciliation among both parties. You may have diverse opinions or perspectives about this. What matters most is the realization, actualization of the set goals and objectives which the Prime Minister of the Biafran Republic government in exile have set in place. Mies Simon Ekpa, of course, will be appearing on the 11th of this month to continue his defense, having pleaded not guilty of the alleged crime. Definitely, the trial will commence in earnest, the proceedings, the defense, the counter-defense, argument, and the rest of them. At the end of the day, you discover that the allegation could not hold water, could not establish any ground. Mies Simon Ekpa is coming out. It's better you fix the house. It's better you drop your personal interests in the interest of forging a common front, unity to forge ahead. If actually you are in debt to this cause, you are determined, you really meant to defend the cause of Biafrans. Well, let me have your own take regarding this development. The warring parties must be contacted and the opinions must be sought for if peace and lasting peace must be actualized in this regard. It is important and imperative that everyone who cares must lend his or her voice regarding this, because anesi nulo manama powama. You don't set the house ablaze when you are rounded up by the enemies. There must be a common front that must be established if you must win this battle. Whether you like it or not, history will either remember you for good or for the bad you have done. But what thing is important? To be on the good part of history, you must do what is needful now. There is no better time. There is no other time to waste time. I think I have spoken clearly. Some ethnic nationalities or regions are calling for Nigeria to split. So you who believe you are fighting for the cause of Biafra is now pinching a tent against one another. How could you stand? Some betraying, sabotaging the cause of one another because you want every other person down at every slightest opportunity because you want to stand and remain or be seen or to build your public image or reputation. You don't do that. You don't succeed by doing that, bringing someone down. I think that is what even those media propagandas being used to propagate certain informations, unverifiable informations, must get to understand. They must be called to order if truly the peace summit or motive will be actualized. Let me have your own take regarding this. Whether it's possible, yes. Whether it's achievable, yes. Whether it's realistic, yes. But one thing lies on the determination and sincerity of those parties concerned. Thanks for watching.